I felt like I would compare myself to people and be like, how is it that they know what they want to do? They seem so happy with their career. I really strive for a better setup, but wouldn't you know it, I can't find my tripod right now. I'm just gonna roll with this today. There are people that have told me to get a little bit of a better setup, but hey, it is what it is. So today I want to talk about closing one door and opening another. It seems like in life, when you hear the saying, like, when one door closes, another opens, sometimes we don't see that other door, or it takes a while to see what that new opportunity is. But closing a door on a chapter or on something that no longer serves you can be such a liberating feeling. Sometimes it's like the thing that you needed for that new change, that new boost of like momentum to lead you to the next thing, right? So if you're going through that season right now where you're like, what's the next move? I'm not sure why, like, life brought me here. Sometimes it's about going with the current of life. Like, instead of fighting it or trying to swim against it, sometimes you just kind of have to like put your hands up and just go with the flow, quite literally, because yeah, life is full of like little surprises, and sometimes you need to mentally clear yourself so that way you can see what those new opportunities are. So for example, when I had my baby, I had all the intentions of going back to work for somebody that I had worked for, and I made, decent income there. But before I had my baby, before I was pregnant, I was really in this mode of just hustle mode. Like, if you know me, I'm always like go, go, go. There's always something new to learn. Like, and I'm still like that, but I've learned how to really slow things down. And I have my baby to thank for that, because you have no choice sometimes but to slow down and to really observe what's around you and just go with the flow. Life will do that to you, especially when you have children, but even without children. Sometimes you have to slow down. When I had decided it doesn't feel right anymore, like this doesn't feel aligned with me, I'm gonna have to like close this chapter. Felt really like, first it was a little uncomfortable because I was like, okay, well, what's the next thing? I stay at home with the baby, and I don't know, like I need some sort of creative outlet. And for a very long time, I've been wanting to make content and also be able to share like my personal experiences and help people out, because sometimes we just need to talk things out, process, or listen. Sometimes when we hear somebody's story on something, it really does change your life, change the momentum of your life. And it can be exactly what you need to hear on certain days. So if it wasn't for that decision, I wouldn't have had like that inspiration to do something that I've always wanted to do. And it's also opened up a lot of opportunities for me to be able to really dive into who I am as a person and what it is that I really want out of life and what brings me joy. And for a long time, I didn't really know what that was. And I think we can all go through periods of life where we're like, what is our purpose? What do we really want out of life? What is it that is going to fill our cups up? And it can be like such an extended period of time before we find like something that really feels right or clicks. And I really do think that the more time you have with yourself, or the more time that you can spend on getting to know yourself, the more you're going to figure out what is going to bring you joy in life. And even if it's just like a side hustle at first, or I call it side gigs, like something that just brings you joy at the end of your day, it's so important to figure out what those things are. Because what I learned in that last season of life, before I like figured out what I really wanted to do, or I knew what I wanted to do before I said it out loud, there were so many times where I would sit there and just spiral, because I felt like I would compare myself to people and be like, how is it that they know what they want to do? They seem so happy with their career. How come I tried all these things? And I mean, in my license that I have, how is it that I can do all these different things, but nothing like seems to bring me joy except for talking to people and sharing experiences? And here I am now doing just that. It takes a long time to kind of process what's good for you if you don't have that alone time with yourself. So being able to have time to do that is so vital and important. And basically being able to pay attention to what your intuition is saying is going to lead you towards those new opportunities. Sometimes when we have all these distractions and we work multiple jobs, lots of distractions, kids, it's so hard to find those moments of peace and clarity to figure out who it is that you are, what is it that you want out of life, and what's the direction that life is pointing you towards. It's hard when you're drowning in everything else. So I guess when you decide that you need to start paying attention to what that is, you have to figure out how to time manage so that way you have a little bit of time throughout your day to have to yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's just a drive, like going on a drive, 20-minute drive somewhere, or being able to have a shower at the end of the day might be the only alone time that you have. But make use of that and just really like get in tune with yourself, so that way you can figure out where you need to go in life. Video is basically to kind of tell you if you're going through a season of change or you've closed a door on one chapter of life, pay attention to what your instincts and intuitions are saying, because they'll point you to directions that you should go, but sometimes we just don't know how to listen to those. So I really hope that in this season you can find joy and peace, and that you can figure out maybe where life is pointing you. Maybe life is pointing to just some silence this season of life, like really slowing down, and it can really bring a lot of understanding to situations. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you got something out of this. If you did, go ahead and like it, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Really enjoy doing this, connecting with you guys and seeing like what it is that you're thinking or what it is you're going through.